All right, let's get started. Huh. Hello everyone, Soul Commodore back at you again. Uh, Hopefully you all are having a fantastic Thursday so far. It is Thursday, right? Yeah, it's Thursday. Hello Base Windu. Hello Nat. Hopefully you all are having a good day. Good to see you. Welcome on in, and of course welcome on in to everybody else. So today we're doing something which I think is probably a little bit too ambitious, but what is life without ambition, right? Um, so instead of doing any charcoal work or any of the painting work that we're doing on these drawings, I thought that what I want to do is finish this drawing, finish sketching out the figures, and then we'll move on to another drawing, sketch out some figures, and then we'll move on to another drawing after that and sketch out some figures. So my my plan is, as I sent you guys just a little bit more. My plan is to hopefully by the end of this have 3 drawings worth of sketches, um, and then we'll just work away at those as we see fit. That's the plan. Is it going to go to plan? Who knows? I imagine probably not. But what are you gonna do? Hey, Gage, how's it going? Welcome on in. So, I also remember the last time we were together, I was debating the figure over here, whether I should replace this figure with someone that I know so that it's not 3 strangers. Um, and then I was thinking about it. I was like, you know what? That's dumb. That's just a dumb thing to worry about. I'm just gonna put whatever figures I want on here. It doesn't have to be like not, they can all be people that I know. It can be just one person that I know. It could be no people that I know. You know. So I'm not gonna worry about that. I am, however, on this particular drawing, it's only going to be 3 figures, because I don't think I'm going to have room here for the 4th figure that I wanted. Um, it's going to cloud up too much negative space. Now, the next drawing that we're going to do, the next sketch after this one, once this one is completed, the next sketch is going to be fairly cluttered, but that one I'm planning for. The vision that I had for this one had some negative space in here, and I want to maintain that. So we're just going to go into some sketching. And I always find the sketches that I have to do with the figures that have their faces shown are always the most daunting. It just ends up being how they are. Accidentally had me muted. Oh, that's okay. No worries. I was just babbling. Basically, my plan is once we get done this sketch, instead of moving on to the charcoal, I'm going to sketch out the figures on 2 other drawings. Hopefully, we'll get to 2 other drawings, um, and then we'll go from there. Um, and I was basically saying on this figure, um, I'm not going to put a 4th figure here because I on this picture I want to maintain the negative space being coming down into this area and then up because that's how I kind of envisioned it, and that would clutter it too much. The next image that we do, I plan for it to be fairly cluttered. There might be like 5 figures in that one, at the very least 4. But I planned for that already. So um, that one can be cluttered. This one I don't want to be as cluttered. So that's basically what I was saying. You didn't miss anything too important. Just some game planning stuff. Now the details up here aren't too important because this abstraction is going to come out the top basically. It's going to be one of those. So really, the how the figuration is off to the sides is going to be a lot more important. But it is important that I map out the borders of the face at the very least. So that ear is closer to the top. Ooh. I drew some requests today while I planned out a bigger piece. Oh, nice, nice. Well, let's take a look. Team, can you please change? Thank you. There we go. Sir? I like that. I like that. It's a little Michigan J Frog. We got ourselves a Pokemon. I forget which Pokemon it is. And then that dude in the helmet. Very nice. Very nice. I really like the shading on the frog. Like all like the little like dimpling and stuff, and then the little areas of shading. It's really, really good. How's my wife? Oh, she's good. She's good. She's good. Like I said, it wasn't like a Char loves Pumpkaboo, so that's what it is. Nice, nice, nice. It wasn't any sort of like emergency or anything like that. The first time around. This was and then this was just basically a follow-up to make sure that everything's you know, working the way it's supposed to. So yeah, no, she's good. She's good. The slime in the helmet was my way of not drawing a motorcycle. Fair, fair, fair. No, it works. It works. Very nice. Thank you for sharing, Gage. I always like seeing your requests. Also, I hear you. It's like I never liked drawing bicycles when I was in school, so I totally get it. Totally get it. That's not what I meant to do. Internet, you have to be on this page. Thank you. There we go. Perfect. All right. Back to the figure. For a little doodle request? Nah, bitches, I'm tired. I hear that. But yeah, no, thank you for asking. But she's yeah, 100%. Um, did have something a little somber happen the other day though. Don't worry, it's not like a loved one or anything like that. I so we discovered that there was a wasp hive that was in its very initial stages being built on our deck. So um, I took care of that. We have some like wasp stuff, so I just took care of that. There weren't any wasps in it. I mean, like the hive was maybe like it was less than an inch built, so there was nothing in it yet. It was basically just the initial stages, and there weren't any wasps around. So I sprayed some stuff that keeps wasps away, and basically the spray of that knocked the hive down. So I disposed of the hive, and then as I was walking into our backyard to look at all the other parts of the deck just to make sure there wasn't anything else being built, I noticed that there was this like little robin that was in our yard, that was like kind of like curled up and it was moving. It was like trying. It almost looked like it was getting comfortable. And this was like dusk. It was like 8:30 p.m. Um, and I was like, hmm, it's a little peculiar. Robins don't usually do that. So I had a feeling um, that something wasn't right. But I was like, well, I mean, it's not like right in the middle of the yard, and I'm not gonna mow the lawn or anything like that. So we'll just leave it. Um, and then the next morning, I went to go get all the garbage together, and I decided to check the backyard since I was outside anyway. And unfortunately, this poor little robin had died overnight. Um, and somber, but I did kind of like, I don't know, you take what you can out of things, right? And I decided to take out of it that this little robin decided that our backyard was going to be its final resting place, for its final rest, and there was kind of like a comfort in that, like our it felt like our backyard was a place of like comfort and safety where it could just, I mean, who knows what actually was going through the robin's head, but that's how I'm choosing to look at it. uh that it was like, this is a nice place, this is where I'm gonna, you know this is where it's gonna happen. um so that was somber, but then I decided to take a little piece with it, and then I had to bury it really quick because I was running late for work. And as I wrote in a letter to a friend about that incident, work doesn't care about no dead robins. You got to get to work. So I just hope the robin was comfortable and was able to pass peacefully with whatever it is that killed it. Um, because it looked fairly young, so it must have been sick. And I didn't touch it or anything, and I made sure everything was sanitized after. But let's finish off the outside of this face at the very least. Capitalism surely a curse. No time to spare for compassion. Yeah, exactly. Like, so I did the most compassionate thing I could for it. I mean, it was already long dead, so there wasn't really anything I could do other than just, burying it. I really like the back of the hoodie. It's so well done. I know exactly how it's sitting in the shape of it. Ah, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I kind of I liked how that turned out too. It's always a nice feeling when a plan comes together and something turns out exactly how you want it to. see what else we got going on. Last night I ran a 3K in. Oh, I was almost sub 16, or not sub 16. I was almost sub 17 minutes. Um, but what was nice about the run is that I was in negative splits the entire time. So, like every kilometer, I ran the next kilometer faster, which was nice. It was a nice feeling. It was a nice night. Very nice night. Not a whole lot of wind. It was nice and warm, but not like overly hot. It was a good night for a run. All right. Now this shirt comes up there. And it's just a spaghetti strap on this side. Because what it is she's actually wearing a sweater over top of this shirt. The only reason I know what negative splits are because of speed running, despite running track in high school. You get that PB? Thank you. Yeah. No, I'm working back toward my PBs. I'm still a long ways away from them, but that's why I'm working back towards them. But yeah, it felt nice to have like an outdoor run where I had negative splits because it had been a while. Then I've got another 5K on Saturday morning. My wife and my father-in-law are gonna come along. Because, like I've said before, if there's one thing that I learned through that whole debacle with Twitch, I forgot to type this earlier, but I'm glad your wife is doing better. I hope it's not interfered too much with her boat addiction. Oh, not at all. Not at all. Like with the initial thing, she was basically fine the same day. Um, just a little bit of soreness, and then yesterday, yeah, no, she's been good. Thank you though. Thank you for asking. Thank you for saying so. But yeah, no, she's feeling good. She's actually going out paddling on Saturday for the first time in a while. Because she injured her shoulder a while ago, but is finally feeling healthy enough that she's going to try paddling again. So that's very exciting. I'm very happy for her. Very happy for that. Um, while she's doing that, I'll probably go because that's going to be in the afternoon after the 5K I do in the morning. So I'll probably do like uh, um, just like a slow recovery run while she's out on the water with her friend. Um, well, I mean our friend, but she was friends with my wife first. Um, they've been friends since like I think like high school, maybe before high school. Um, but yeah, no, what was I saying? Oh, right. So I'm making this the summer of TJ in that I if there's one good thing that came out of that whole debacle that Twitch did where you had to like migrate all of your highlights and stuff over to YouTube because they weren't going to hold on to them anymore. Um, it had me watching all the old stuff that I did on Twitch, like back in like 2022 and all that. Um, and not that I think that I look bad now. I am carrying more weight now than I want to, but man, I was looking good. I was looking fresh and clean and all that in those old videos. And like I still feel fairly good about how I look, but I'm not quite where I want to be. And seeing those videos again was like, all right, I know where I want to be. I want to be like that, maybe a little bit smaller. So let's get to work. And a lot of it has been like food, uh, trying to eat less. Because I don't eat super unhealthily, but definitely I was eating more. Um, well, thank you. I appreciate that. uh, and I feel like my wife likes how I look, and that's good enough for me. But for me, like there's some clothes I want to fit in again, that I still have, that I fit into at that time, um, and just general fitness, because I was very fit then, um, cheap pitches and junk. Um, just in terms of like the fitness part of it, because not too much of it is tied to my self-esteem. It's more like I can remember what I could do physically then, you know, and I want to get back to that. Like I was running like consistently like mid 20s 5Ks, like mid 20 minutes, like 25, 26 minute 5Ks, and my cardiovascular health and my respiratory health were really really good, especially considering I have asthma. And then like lifting, like I was lifting pretty consistently and I was getting good numbers, and then I got hit with COVID and then got hit with COVID again, and then you know just life got busy and here we are. So I want to get back to that. Turning into my elderly auntie over here. So, but yeah, that whole juncture is well underway now, and I'm liking the results so far. Thankfully, I'm kind of past it, like affecting my self-esteem, because it used to really affect my self-esteem. Now it's like, no, 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 my self-esteem is all right. It's just more of a fact of like I know how I want to look, and if I don't look that way, that's okay. But I know I can look that way, so I'm gonna do what I can to get there. I'm glad you're not too upset about it. You got sick and your asthma kicked your ass after. Exactly. And like the first time I got COVID, it was really funny because these symptoms were literally, I was running at the treadmill at the gym. I didn't have a fever. I didn't feel sick otherwise, but I noticed that it was harder for me to like catch my breath than usual. Um, and then my asthma wasn't right for like 2, 3 weeks after that. And then, you slip into bad habits and then it all kind of snowballs. But I didn't have any other symptoms. It was just that. And then it happened again like a year and a half later. Um, and then life gets busy, like I said, and you get married, and not even so much that you get complacent, just like your priorities shift, and then you move and priorities shift again, and then you start a new job and all that. So basically, I'm in a spot now where everything else is stable, so I can shift the priorities back to where I want it to be fitness wise. um and of course that's not taking over other priorities, like my relationships and all that, with my wife and my family and friends. um I'm not going to be able to devote the amount of time that I did when I was living at home, where like my we had like a my dad's gym in the basement, um in the dungeon. I got to show you all a picture of the dungeon one day. But I had the gym in the dungeon, and I worked two part-time jobs at the same building, and really had all the free time in the world to basically just work out. I would basically like wake up, go to work out, go for a really long walk in the evening, and then sleep. Well, I didn't do a whole lot of sleeping. Um, and then rinse and repeat day after day after day. I don't have the luxury of doing that now. Um, Also, like I wasn't in a relationship then, um, and so I really had all the time in the world. You said at one point you thought you had long COVID, I think. Yeah, yeah, I think I did. I think I did. Based on other people's accounts of it, it wasn't as serious as some other people's account. Like there's um that one YouTuber who does like science stuff, who she's been out of commission for years now, and she's finally starting to get better, you know. So it wasn't quite to that extent that it affected me, but it definitely did affect me. Um, yeah, but I'm in a good place now, thankfully. Okay. So I really want to. The one who nearly died from brain aneurysm or a different one? Oh, I don't know it in too much detail. Maybe she had a brain aneurysm. I don't remember. I'm not sure. Um, but basically, like from what I understand, her long COVID basically reared its ugly head into like uh, whatever it is that they call because I forget because the name changed and I cannot remember the name, but it used to be called chronic fatigue syndrome. Basically, she's had that like to an extent where like she couldn't even get out of bed. Um, I wish I could remember her name. I think she did a lot of physics stuff. Um, but it seems that she's finally turned a corner in for the positive, you know. So, the same one. Okay, okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure about the brain aneurysm part. I didn't know that was an aspect of it. Which, yeah, that would do it. The main thing that I want to slim down some for is I don't know if y'all remember those like two piece. I'm so glad for everyone who adores her too. Yeah, yeah, me too. Um, y'all remember those the like the flower tops, the flower print tops and shorts, like the matching shorts that I would always wear, uh, like 2 summers ago. Um, I'm a little bit too. They're a little bit too snug right now, so I wanna wear those again because I really like those things. Which is especially funny considering I bought them as a joke because I thought they looked ridiculous until I put them on and everyone else was like, "Yo, that looks fresh." It's like, oh, I guess it does look a little fresh, don't it? You think I remember anything? You're overestimating me. Fair, fair. They look so fresh. My brother-in-law bought some for himself. Okay, so now this arm comes to right about here because she's got her one arm behind her back. there. So there's that. Now I'll move back over to this side and start working the way back on this. Purse. Which goes to about there. I overshot it a little. That's okay. That's what erasers are for. The buckle here. And I'm choosing to omit the Hello Kitty figurine because I don't need it. And I don't need to depict it. I don't particularly feel like depicting it. I'm gonna focus on the purse itself. Hey, good bot. Good bot. Oh man, speaking of spam, so I was telling my wife about this. So I was at work and I got an email, and the message popped up on my phone, and the email said, basically in the headline, proposal. Now, for those of you who may not have been around for a while, or been around recently, I submitted a couple of different proposals. One, I submitted a grant, an art grant, to uh, showcase, like basically to pay for the rest of this to get done. Because this show, anybody but myself, is going to be like 70 some odd pieces. And it was basically going to be to, like, pay for the wood and the rest of the materials, and to pay myself like an artist fee, and to pay to pay the rest of the people that have helped out, like the voice work and all that. Um, which they're still going to get paid. It's just like if I don't get a grant, then it'll be down the line. Uh, it'll be a little bit later. And then I also submitted a proposal to showcase the tracking series, which you'll see a piece here behind me um, that I'm pointing at. This one here. That series, you can also see kind of the corner of one up on the wall there. Yeah, that one. Um, but basically, a proposal to showcase this stuff in a gallery downtown. So here I am thinking that this is like a proposal email and they're responding, so I'll at least know one way or the other whether they're accepting it or whether they're not, you know. No, it turns out that they just used the word proposal uh, from the emails that I sent earlier for spam, like to say that, oh, I've got some outstanding bill for a service that I don't even use. I was I was less than pleased. But yeah, I just marked it as spam and blocked the email and all that. But man, I was I wasn't happy about that. Because here I was thinking I was gonna, you know, hear something back, and that it was gonna be like sooner than I expected. But no, no. You is right. You is right. Okay. Oh, I should probably do the hair on this side of the head. Probably finish that. Might be a good idea. But no, now we just got to keep being patient. Okay, there we go. We have our three figures, and of course, this one is going to have the abstraction on it. This figure here, as their face would be showing, if not for the abstraction. I'm gonna make this a little shallower. I mean, you're not gonna see it anyway, but yeah. Okay. So, like I said, we're gonna do something a little different, where I'm basically going to get another sheet ready, and we're gonna start a sketch on that. But before we do that, what we got to do first is basically remove this. from our backing. Your face is always abstracted. You're a cryptid. Ooh, nice, nice. You should have someone take a picture of you and submit it. I hear pictures of cryptids make a lot of money. AI and spammers are a match made in hell. Ah, yes, I had missed that message, but yes, yes, they are. I hate AI so much, especially because like I actual photo, nice, nice. But especially because like the main part of creation to me, I've talked about this before, is what I love to see in any sort of artistic endeavor, whether it be video, audio, um, visual, whatever it is, writing. I like to see some, not proof of effort, but I want to see that there's an effort made. I want to see the work in your work, or I want to hear the work in your work, right? Like you can have the greatest idea or concept in the world, but if it doesn't, for me personally, if it doesn't match the form, if it doesn't match the output, I'm not all that interested in it. Like for instance, we went to the AGO, the Art Gallery of Ontario, once, and there was like a series of like 5 paintings that were just like white canvas. Like the artist literally just painted white on a canvas and just left it. Now, they're totally within the rights to do that. Anybody can enjoy that if they like. If it speaks to you in some way, cool. Me, I was like, this for me just reads as kind of lazy, right? Like the concept may be great, but it just kind of reads as laziness to me. Um, and that's how I see AI. Like the whole stealing people's artwork notwithstanding, because obviously that's what it's drawing from, and the whole environmental aspect of it notwithstanding. Um, the fact that all these people have these ideas, and rather than learning the craft and figuring out how to create it themselves and being bad at it and improving on that, instead of putting in the work, they just put it in an algorithm and are like, hey, do this for me, you know. um it's along the same lines as the people who just absolutely refuse to read anything that's longer than 4 paragraphs now because their attention spans are so short, you know. It's like you gotta put some effort in sometimes. Anyway, that's my rant over. Exactly, exactly. You know what? My dad has always said that he's bad at art, right? My dad has always said that, you know. And like I said before, we had no idea that he had the eye for color that he does, right? But he started doing these coloring books, these adult coloring books, and through trial and error and through learning from other sources, through thankfully watching my streams, he's learned, and now he's able to apply some color theory, right? That we had no idea he had in him, right? And he would have had no idea if he didn't. And not to say that my dad would have like turned to using AI, uh, but the point being is my dad discovered that it takes some work, but you know, he's actually not that bad at art. His whole thing has always been writing, right? Um, that's always come naturally to him, and he's worked on that too, and his writing is very good. But uh, he thought he had no artistic talent whatsoever, but then discovered, oh no, actually he does. But people don't want to put in that work, and that to me is a travesty. Especially because that's what artistic expression is. It's you're working through things, you know. That's the whole point to it. Is you're working through something, um, and that can be very literal. It can be very figurative. but you know, you're working at something. It's just I don't know. It's very annoying. And again, that's the theft and the environmental impacts notwithstanding. Um, and what gets me too is all these losers that are like taking glee in the fact that like, you know, oh, we're taking over the creatives, you know. Creative industries are gonna die because of us, you know. Which no, they won't. And secondly, like, why don't you actually learn a skill, you know? Anyway, I'm sure there will be more AI rants later on as well, but and then there are some artists that are like, well, they can be used as a tool. It's like not when that tool is drawing on other people's work. Like these machines can't create nothing out of, or can't create something out of nothing. So I'm just cutting this very carefully. You know, standing would be easier to do this. Also, I apologize. This isn't the most exciting thing to watch. It's me cutting a piece of paper and then taping it to the front of my pad. But I also like doing this. I like showing the actual physical work behind these drawings and paintings. The actual prep that goes into it. I should see if I can find another application to like for like another gallery and like do another one of those streams. Just kind of talking through the process of applying for shows and whatnot. I haven't done one of those in a while. People seem to enjoy those, which I'm very grateful for. All right, where's my tape? There's my tape. My head out of the way here as much as I can. Well, my shoulder's in the way. Come on. That's not where I wanted you. There. Let's see what else we got going on. I'm very excited. My wife and I are going to meet up with a friend after lunch for after lunch after work in a couple of weeks in July. Should be nice. I haven't seen this friend in a while, so it'd be nice to catch up with her. Plus, her and my wife have met, but they haven't really gotten to, really talk too much. Because we don't live near each other. So that'll be nice. Second layer. Oh, I just realized you couldn't see any of that. Basically just put a second layer of tape here. I really gotta have better wherewithal of what you guys can actually see on the screen. You think I'd be better at that at this point, but not so. I need to shave. So, almost done. Just one more edge to do, and then we can get sketching again. And I'm guessing by the fact that we've been at this for an hour, that we might only get this one done. Probably won't get through 2 drawings worth of sketches, but that's okay. Like I said, it wasn't ambitious, but it was worth a shot. All right. So there's our new blank slate. Get this. And choose a new figure. I think what we'll do does that make any sense? It will make sense if I move this figure over some. Yeah. Need 2 pictures up. That 1 second. Pre-roll ads are on. Run an ad break to disable them. That's fine. All right. Like I said, this one's going to be a little cluttered. Okay, but what I want to do is I want to put the I flip this. Can I flip it? Don't mind me. I'm just thinking thoughts in my head. Can I mirror this? I can mirror it. Okay. Yeah. So if I move this figure all the way off the page, where we only have the back of the head and the shoulder. Then I throw the other figure here. That I think that would work. Yeah. I just just have to space this better. But yeah, that'll work. And then that's generally where thoughts live. Yes. Gage. Yes, you're correct. You're correct. And I'll have this figure right in the corner, like right up close. Yeah. Okay. We've got a plan. Is it a good plan? Only time will tell. But now, in terms of where these figures will be. Oh no! That's tone of voice when you said my name. Okay, so this figure over here, I want to be end up right there. So we'll do that. One added thing that's going to be really nice once I, drop some of this weight is I'll have like a whole bevy of like clothes just waiting for me, and I don't have to buy new clothes because I still have the majority of the clothes that I used to like completely fit into, and now are like fairly snug. I still have all those clothes, or the majority of the clothes. Some of them I've given away or donated. Unless something's really, really ratty. And even then, like I'll try to like make it into a rag before I throw it away. But I very, very rarely throw clothes away. I always donate them. Or I always attempt to donate them, at the very least. Because what good are those clothes going to do in a landfill? You know? Not much. So. Do I want that strap going across the back? I don't think so. I don't think I do. So we're not gonna do it. We're just gonna have a straight shirt. Back here. Dun, 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 dun. Up here. Go. And then this all down here is very dark, other than you clipped it. Actually, you know what? It's funny. It's funny that you bring that up because we when we went down to visit my dad and my sister, I was talking to them about how the fact that I and I'm not saying this is 100% like, you know, obviously I'd have to go get officially tested and everything, but I did one of those, whatever the certified test is that they ask people to fill out for like autism. um I forget the name of it because there's an official name for it. But I tried that out just to see, and I'm in that range where like there are plenty of people who are autistic that are in that range, and plenty of people who are not, who also fit in that range. So who's to say, you know? Hey, zombie food, welcome on in. How you doing? How you doing? Welcome on in. Um, but I was telling my dad, where like if I went and got like an official diagnosis of it, it wouldn't surprise me at all. Uh, Especially given how I was as a kid, and not really understanding, um, you know, social cues and how stuff works, and being generally very confused about all of that. But one of the things that I talked about is one thing that I've always kind of struggled with is my tone of voice, because it's happened with all sorts of loved ones, where I I sometimes have a tone in my voice where it sounds like I'm miffed or it sounds that I'm annoyed, but I'm really not. It's just how my voice sounds. And I've actually explained to my wife too, like if it ever comes out that way, like feel free to ask me about it. Because like 19 times out of 20, I'm not actually annoyed with anybody. It's just my voice has that tone sometimes. I think it's the same thing that makes me laugh when people are yelling, especially if they're yelling at me. You know, um, you're good writing, working on your writing for a submission. Oh, very nice, very nice, very cool. Um, is this the same project? I think the last time you were here, you were talking about it. Is this the same thing? Um, I have ADD plus OCD, and wow, those combined can present like autism. Fair, fair, and that may be too. Like I may just have something completely different. Um, I sometimes wondered if I have some sort of like attention deficit disorder or something like that. Um, Autism diagnosis is expensive, at least where I am. I got diagnosed as a kid. Ah, fair, fair. Undiagnosed ADHD, baby. Oh, welcome in, Retro Homebrew. Ah, you have a writing mentor, so I'm sending it to them first. Very cool. Very cool. Uh, well, hopefully the writing process is going by smoothly. Um, I got diagnosed because I wasn't talking at school. Ah, fair, fair. That makes sense. ADD, ADHD has some overlapping symptoms with autism, and they're comorbid, so it's possible you have one, the other, or both. Fair, fair. Yeah, one of these days, like I have been looking into therapy. It's just so hard to choose, right? Because I don't really want to do the whole like, oh, this therapist isn't working out, so I got to go to another one. But I mean, that's just what you got to do, right? And I'm very privileged in that my job has benefits that allow me to go see a therapist because I have coverage. So really, I don't have any excuse. I should just do it. Um, you're on a waiting list for ADHD. Fair, fair. Well, hopefully, it doesn't take too long for you to come off of the waiting list and actually see somebody about it. Diagnosis can probably help uh, get people to give you reasonable adjustments. True, yeah, yeah. And I mean, I may not have anything at all, really. Who knows? Who knows? I just gotta go figure it out. Um, but if I did, like I said, it would explain some things, especially from my youth. It would explain a number of things. Be like, oh, that's probably what that was then. Personally, yeah, I'd say go for it because it could take a few tries to find someone you click with. Well, yeah, true, true. Because realistically, the tone issues are a problem for holistic people to deal with. Hmm. I like that phrase, holistic. But yeah, you did mom voice on me, and I lost it laughing. Good, I'm glad. Yes, because it was definitely meant in jest. It's definitely. Okay, so this is one figure basically done. not perfect, but I don't need it to be perfect. Meh, neurotypicals are exhausting. Fair. Speaking of writing, I am zombie food. So I have issues with the tone of voice problem, particularly with people who know I'm autistic. Ah, fair, fair. Um, yeah, I think with me, it just ends up being like a very flat tone, which I don't know. It's just how I speak. But speaking of writing stuff, so that Commodore's writing project that I'm on, you'll all be happy to know that I'm very, very quickly closing in on 15,000 words. Um, Again, for a thing that if anybody else reads this, I'm very happy. Maybe you'll get something out of it. At least get something out of the playlists that I'm putting together. Um, I think I'm on song. I think I'm in the 50s now. I think the latest song that I started writing on was Heroes, and I think that's number 59. So we're getting there. We're getting there. Um, yeah. So we're getting close to the top half of the songs, but as the songs get better and better and better, I'm gonna have more and more to write. And then of course there's the preamble I still gotta finish, the post, the conclusion I gotta handle. Uh, there's all the album reviews that I gotta do too. So it's gonna be lengthy. But I was telling my wife about this the other day, um, where I had an idea for a story that I thought was pretty interesting, and I'm sure it's been done before, but I hadn't seen it. Um, where basically it's your standard like man wakes up, starts going about his day, and then there's a stranger in his house, and it turns out that the stranger is death. Um, Although I had the twist where like the guy's like, "Are you death?" And he's like, "Well, no, I'm not the death. There's a whole bunch of angels of death. Like, what? You think one guy can handle all this? No, the logistics are a nightmare." Um, so basically, it turns out that he's dead, but the twist is he's given a choice to either go to his respective afterlife, um, or or he can be transplanted. And the whole idea is that um, if you see someone, what is it that I laid out? Basically, uh, what got me thinking about it is like people who undergo complete like their personality completely changes after a near-death experience, right? Um, and this angel of death explains that, all right, so here it is. We can either take you to your respective afterlife, or when someone has a near-death experience, we intercept their soul and we ask them, hey, are you ready to pass on? Or do you want to go back? Right? And in cases where they want to go back, but it's likely that the person is going to survive whatever injuries caused their near-death experience, we can transplant a soul of a newly deceased person into them, which is why they completely change personality. Um, so this guy is like, well, death is like, do you want to go into someone else or do you want to go to your afterlife? And the dude decides that he wants to because he was fairly unsatisfied with his own life. Um, Fairly unsatisfied with his own life, and he wanted to try something new. Um, and then the kicker is that everybody that he enters dies pretty recently after he enters, and it's just a succession where the people he keeps transplanting into keep dying. Um, so he keeps having to meet this angel and being like, "Listen, man, like, come on." Very, very, it's a very loose outline. I think I like dreamt it or something, and I was like, "Well, that'd be an interesting story. Probably not nearly enough for a novel, but an interesting short story." So I don't know. I might try that on for size one of these days if I ever get the nerve to actually try and write something like that. So here off this shoulder, we're going to have our first instance of a child in any one of these drawings, but also another instance of this person is technically facing the camera, but their face is obscured by this figure's shoulder. So their face doesn't get abstracted because you can't actually see their face. All right. All right, there we go. It's not too bad. These hands are going to be a pain, though. That's okay. But just like with anything else, you just got to do it to it. Let's do it to it. If any of you get that reference, hats off to you. One of my favorite movies. One of the best sequels that are out there. I'm hungry. I'm gonna go wake up a roommate and see what dinner should be. Ah, nice, fair. That's a good plan. Dinner is important. Eating is important. Right. So let's get started on these hands. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking we could get through 3 drawings. We might not even make it through 2. But that's okay. Okay. Next finger, much the same as the last one. And now the baby finger, pinky finger. Roommate awoken, waiting for oven to preheat. What are you making? What'd y'all decide on for dinner? Freezer food, nuggies, nice. My offer to cook grown-up food was soundly rejected. Hey, nothing wrong with having a frozen food kind of day. Nothing wrong with that at all. Okay, well, before I get too ahead of myself, why don't we draw on the rest of these fingers? Okay, now the baby finger or pinky finger. There we go. Right. A lot of shadow work, like a lot of subtle shadow work around these fingers. Fun to fill in once we get to that that point. I think those hands turned out pretty good, actually. I'm pretty pleased. Should probably taper that down some more. Fingers are so fun to shade for me. They're so shape, as one of my friends says. They are. They are very shape. Yeah, I like hands. I like the challenge of hands. A lot of people get intimidated by it, which is fair. They're not always easy to draw or shade, but I enjoy the challenge. And of course, there's going to be a challenge here given these are overalls and just the general challenge of shading in denim and all the different ripples and cuts and all that in it. But we'll do what we can. We'll just try our best, you know? Doesn't have to be perfect. We're not doing hyper realism. And right now I'm just kind of, again, filling in the really shaded parts. Because it ends up being like I've said before, a color by numbers kind of effect. There we go. There's figure number 2. I am actually going to darken this line a bit just to delineate between the two more. There we go. And then we'll clean that up later. All right, figure number 3. Where is figure number 3? There he is. All right. Now, in terms of size, be over here in the foreground. I think that size works. Yeah. I think the easiest thing to do is start over on this shoulder. Is that what I want to do? Yeah. So his head's going to end up being like here, the top of his head. So I just need to keep that in mind. Is that too much? I think that's too far over. Part isn't over that much. It just kind of rises. Then it comes down into a little valley and sweeps back up again. There we go. And then the collar comes up to about there. Which is about where his neck is. Back at the head. Here. Too gung-ho with that. Let me throw in landmark for the ear. The head's going to be a little bit higher than that point, but that's okay. We can always change later, after all. It sweeps more down, actually. Got a well-trimmed sideburn there. Much more well-trimmed than mine. That's for sure. Here, basically. Jawline. And while we're building that, I'm going to build up this collar. bring it up on the other side to about here. This is about all that we're going to get of the actual face. Like, I'm not going to build up the nose or anything like that because we're not going to see it. For whatever reason, this song, probably because it played a lot, always reminds me of like the early days of streaming. Okay. So now we build up the second shoulder. Comes out right about here. About there. And the seam on the shirt comes up here. This drops down here. And now, so that doesn't just kind of look like a lump, we're gonna add in the actual sleeve line. Some of the wrinkles and stuff on the sleeve. I'm gonna throw that in. So this collar. Not a very robust collar. It's just kind of there. That's okay. So it comes down here and then sweeps back up, like so. It comes over like that. And that comes down there. And then the shadow here, it's not overly complicated, but it's not the most basic shape either. Basically comes up here, joins the very apex of that wrinkle, and then crashes back down. So the rest of this is pretty light. Got a slight wrinkle here where the seam is on the shoulder there. More wrinkles on this sleeve. Crashes hard toward the inside because this sleeve is obviously folding in this way. Just like so. All of these come sweeping down toward the button. There we go. And okay, there we go. That's that figure. And then let me just very, very quickly kind of sketch out where I want this figure. I'm kind of standing here. back of the ear comes about here. And it's just a shape. So. So in case this seems like kind of like what's going on here, this figure is wearing some sort of a do-rag. That's what's going on. Which I've never actually drawn before, so this is a first. Question of the day: what song lyric particularly resonates with you? Soul's doo-doo-doo. Well, I can't take credit for that. I'm just humming along. For me, I've said it before, but it's one of the ones that resonates with me is on the Commodore's Hold On. The entire final stanza, basically, but particularly the last part of the final verse. Plastic faces, funny books, nothing's real now once you look. People all dressed up like Hollywood, can't tell the bad guys from the good. I've always loved that line. Plastic faces, funny books. Nothing's real now once you look. Yeah. People all dressed up like Hollywood. Can't tell the bad guys from the good. You better hold on to what you got. Tomorrow don't promise a whole lot. Hold on to what you got. Tomorrow don't promise a whole lot. Probably the most cynical of all the Commodore songs. Really. They didn't have many songs like that. Okay, so this part of the do-rag is basically, this is all black here, including back here. And I'll just shape out the shirt, and then I think we'll call it a stream. There we go. Some pants back here. All right, there we go. Okay, so we got two sketched out. We finished that first one, and now we've finished sketching out this one. So not too bad. Not too bad. We didn't get three, but that's okay. All right. So with that, I want to thank you all for coming in and watching me just do my work here. It's always a treat doing this for you guys. So I hope you enjoy it. Gage, thank you very much for sharing your work with us earlier in the stream. Always appreciate seeing your stuff. Let's see who's on that we could raid. And if there's no one on we can raid, then we will raid next time. Because it's about time for me to go for a walk on with my wife anyway. It's about that time. So, let me see. Just gonna check something really, really quick before we do this. Just really, really quick. If it would load, that would be great. It would be fantastic. Okay, there we go. We're good. All right, so we're gonna go say hi once again to Based Windu, who's playing some Fall Guys. Because I don't have currently any art friends doing anything, so. I'm gonna go say hi to Based Windu again. Friend of the channel. Good dude. All right, so yeah, thank you. Thank you. What am I saying thank you for? That's the bot saying that. But like the bot says, I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and don't forget to stay hydrated. As we go over to say hi to Based Windu. Also, thank you again, everybody, for coming in. Next stream will probably be, if not Sunday, then Monday. We'll be back working on some more sketches, probably. So feel free to come back and enjoy that. Then that'll be 6 p.m. Eastern. And yeah, until then, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day, fantastic rest of your week and weekend if I don't see you. And yeah, let's go say hi to Based Windu. Thank you, Retro Homebrew. I appreciate it. It'll be a good walk. Be a very good walk. All right. Take it easy, everybody.